Hello, 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 everybody. This is Christina D. Woods, and I'm back. I want to talk to you very briefly about components that you add to your candles when you're a candle maker. And I want to focus mainly on oils. You know why? Every wax that can be used to make candles has actually a ratio of how much fragrant oils or any other type of oils can be blended with that wax so that it can still stay solid and burn. And if you're doing it for fragrance, you want a great scent throw. Um, and sometimes we get very, very frustrated when our scent isn't shooting off and we bought it and it smells so strong. Some oils are not smelling strong on a cold set like that when it's not hot or warm. Okay, sorry. And so therefore, that does not always mean throw in 5 more ounces to make it stronger. Because see, now you're compromising the things that we talked about in the other video, like when it comes down to creating the candle itself. Okay. Because, and what I mean by that is from structure. If you know this is going to be a certain type of candle and you know that you're going to have to light it, we all know every oil has a flash point. What's flash point, guys? That's the moment when an oil combusts in the flames. It don't start a fire. It's on fire. Okay. Waxes also have this. They have flash points. Okay. So you're going to be looking at structure. Okay. And how you're going to put it together. But now when you get into components and what you want to add and what you want to do to make it more and more beautiful, so people really, really want it, you want to be careful with components you use. Hopefully, I won't take too long as I try to explain some of these things to you. Please, 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 if you don't mind, my goal for this video is 5 likes. So please give me a like. I'll be excited. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. I'm going to read all my comments. I'm super excited to I don't know, just be doing this. I got to go to work in an hour, and I don't know why I'm so happy about this today. All right, let's get to the components that you can add to candles, and like kind of what happens when you do that. All right. I want to start from glitters. I'm gonna start from glitters. Glitters are pretty and can be used to, really, really jazz up a simple looking candle. However, you want to be careful not to add so much glitter that you smother your wick that has to burn. You also don't want to add so much that it catches fire and dances on the top of your candle. No go. You don't want too much glitter. Um, Also, in the way of glitters, I want to say if you want a little bit of shimmer in it, you can add some throughout it. Okay. But be aware that it's heavier than wax and it is going to be sinking, sinking, sinking as well. Okay. And that's not necessarily horrible. And it would depend on the type of wax you have. If you have gel wax, it's going to look suspended in it because it's clearer. Okay. But if you have a solid color, there's a good chance it's not going to show up like that. So don't say, I want a black and gold candle. And now you done doused in all the gold dust you can and it's smothering your wick and they can't get a clean burn. They can't get the real fragrance. They can't enjoy it the way you meant for it to be. All because structure in which you added. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to hit on fragrance oil. Like I was saying earlier, you do not want to troubleshoot your candle not burning properly by just adding more fragrance. I've had, in my experience, multiple, many, many, many times where I have a client, right, and they have a favorite smell. Now, it's so much they favorite smell that they dang near know it better than me because they love it that much. Okay. And this where we as business women and men have to be listening. A customer will tell you what they want. Okay. And it's not always negative. Take it, put it up here and remember it. Okay. All right. So don't add too much oil. Don't go crazy just thinking, oh, I'm going to add 2 or 3 more. Now, as I also talked about in the other video, which you may want to go back and hit the replay on that real quick, or whatever. Um, you don't want to also over dilute your wax. I don't know if I'm saying that right though. So I'm going to try to explain. Okay. Um, Soy wax is soft, paraffin is hard, gel is gushy. All these waxes have different properties. All these waxes can hold a certain amount of fragrance oil. What you will find, and I found, and I do share this a lot, there's a lot of times that you might say, well, hey, I'm buying my oil over here and I'm buying my wax over here and I'm doing great. Well, if you've done all your work and you've practiced and you've done your 80 something candles and you feel like you done trial and error enough, great. Because if you've trialed and error, then now you know what's working for you. However, if you shop with one company, there's usually a sheet or some kind of data form or something about all of the things they carry. Okay. All the things they carry. And it'll tell you. Okay. It may say our soy wax holds 1 ounce of fragrance. And then you'll notice with their fragrances, it really does work that way because they done did their part. They know what they're doing. Okay. They know what they're selling. It's up to us to practice enough to know that I'm giving you a quality product that's going to be right every time. And what I was going to say earlier, and it just circled back, plenty of times, their favorite fragrance, they're not going to forget it. Okay. And they may come back and repurchase it. And they may come back and say, well, it don't smell as strong as the last one. Or it don't seem like it hit like it did before. Don't go just adding fragrance. Sit down, remember what you did. Did you use a different wax this time? Okay. That's not a bad thing. I'm just saying you have to know your product so well that people can't hurt your feelings. That's another thing. Okay. But you do have to know your product. Okay. Did you change something? Did you run out of wicks and had to substitute your wick this time? Were you not able to get to your favorite store to get the jars you really like? So now you have another kind and you got to make that work. Or did they request a special glass and it doesn't burn the same way? Or did the company itself change its formula on you? It could be any of those reasons. But that's what the troubleshooting is all about. I've had that happen to me and I had to call a company because it wasn't a bad thing. I wasn't angry. It's just we have to know our product. I can't sell you something unless I kind of know, you know, about it. Okay. So um I think that if you take your time, read your data sheets, find out what can go in them, what can't. Troubleshoot, make sure it wasn't your fault. And if it was, how to fix it quickly, tactfully, efficiently, just, and be humble. Nothing wrong with being humble. Okay. I've also found that with making candles and the components, let's say you want to do a massage candle and you're using soy wax and you've been practicing. Because I know which things I can add a little bit more in my waxes for, but I've been using those waxes for years. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I might can put 2 ounces in something and the direction said 1. But see, I might have played with this fragrance long enough over the years that I know what it can take and what it can't, and what this wax can take and what it can't, and what these wicks do and what they can't on certain things. So your burn quality could change. Check yourself. Don't get upset with the customer. Did you miss and put a different wick in? It's small to you, but they might not want that gunky stuff on the side of your candle. They might have wanted it to burn smooth. Did you give them candle information and how to care for it? Okay. A lot of people love things that don't mean they do it right. Okay. When you're making your soy candles for massage, I actually put a little shea butter in mine sometime, and I have a different recipe that I just haven't revealed yet. You do not want to overdo it. Once again, oils can catch on fire. The same way oil and water don't mix, fire itself and oil don't mix. That's why it's diluted in the wax, which is That's what's holding you. Okay. That's why you don't want to put too much oil in it. Okay. Too much oil is just going to catch on fire. I'm being very honest. I don't want to make it look like it's hard or something. It's not hard, but you do want to pay attention to your structure and your components. When you're getting jazzy and decorative, don't put something flammable on it as a decoration unless you are prepared to put a little note on it. Says maybe, please remove all fabric and decorations before burning. I've done that before. But I've also seen where some people have put fake items inside of the candle. And to me, that's a little more scary because it can catch on fire. Uh, if you want something that looks like roses, I learned how to use the molds. And then there's also molding wax. Like, you sit there and you can mold your wax and make the shapes you want. I've done that too. But what I suggest that if you made a rectangular candle that's supposed to be a stack of books for school or for a teacher or something, I wouldn't advise you to stick a real pen in it. Now, later on, when I get into really, teaching the things I really, really, really want to share, I'll show you how to make a mold out of this. Okay. And then what you do is you make a wax copy, and that's what you put on there. Just like with decorating cakes. Remember when I used to decorate cakes? Okay, those weren't real pocketbooks on those cakes. You see what I'm saying? We want to give you the look. We want to give you satisfaction. We want to give people a sense of, I like for people to feel appreciated after they buy a candle. I don't want them to go home and have to troubleshoot but so much. And all of mine are made weird, and I make them out of my head. And it's very hard for me to even do two exactly the same at the same time because I'm doing everything from scratch. Be aware. Metal does not need to be in your candle if you can help it. But if you do, like when I do my ice cream candle, sometimes I'll put a real spoon in there, but it can't melt. It can't catch fire. You don't want to put plastic inside your candles. It might look pretty, but it's going to melt. Okay. You don't want to use a fragrance that's water-based. Water, wax don't mix. Right. Components. Read your data sheets. Everybody read your data sheets. Don't do something just because somebody said, well, they work for me, because you don't know what they had. And even if they show you, the world's so competitive, they might be leaving out something they did. So you read, you study, show yourself approved on your own gift, on your lane. Now let's drive these candles to $1 million. Peace.